That is not relative. It's the theme of West Virginia. And you know why you can't solve a murder in West Virginia, right? You have an unidentified body. How are you going to identify it? You can't. All the genetics are the same and nobody has any teeth. Okay. That isn't relative. And the subjects aren't related either. Yeah, these aren't related. In Tai Chi, we have four main energies. We have what most people call ward-off. It's the four first moves, you might as well say. I like to refer to that as integrity, because that's the feeling that you're getting. So the first one is integrity. The second main energy is called rollback. And the third is press. Both hands are pressing forward. And the fourth is squeeze. There's a closing forward. Now, if you don't take Tai Chi, this may not make any sense, but it's not relative anyway. So if we're going to toss this out, the first thing we need is structural integrity in Tai Chi. And when we explore structural integrity, we basically want to know if we touch one part of the body, are we touching all of it? Through the different drills and practices, we learn how to touch just the forearm, and we can feel anything going on anywhere in the body. That's ward-off, or integrity. That's what I prefer to call that as. The second energy, if you watch a baseball batter versus a pancake batter just sort of lays there. A baseball batter, you'll watch the hips will swing forward immediately before the waist and the shoulders twist. So you have the hips leading, and then doosh, that happens. You know, the bat swings. If you just swing the bat, you don't have much power. But if the hips go first, if there's a separation between the hips and the waist, this is what they call rollback in Tai Chi. First thing we do is we do some sort of deflection called ward-off. We maintain our integrity, and we take some of their energy, and we roll with it in a way we don't get out of the way. We roll with it so that the waist and the hips separate. That basically winds us up like a baseball batter, not a pancake batter. The third energy is press. With press, both sides of the body are coming forward practically instantaneously. Bang! Okay, so we're not throwing our shoulders out of whack when we throw a punch. The shoulders remain square. We don't throw the right shoulder forward as we're punching. It's sort of like the difference if you take a tube of toothpaste and you squeeze the bottom of it really hard. That's what it feels like. Literally, if you're doing Tai Chi right, you have integrity. When energy is issued to you, you do the rollback, so your waist and your hips twist differently. That gives you a little bit of a wind-up like a baseball batter, not a pancake batter. The third thing is everything comes forward at once. Doosh! Practically instantaneously. And then we close forward. And that's the feeling if you hold a jar of peanut butter out in front of you and you twist. There's a closing there. We make sure we're closing with the energy forward. And the reason we do that is it's almost impossible to get hit at that point then. And we can demonstrate this. If you have the vibrating palm videos, you can see this. Now, that's not relative. And by the way, so I had this good-looking cousin, right? And so my good-looking cousin, I didn't know she was a cousin, by the way. I grew up in a little Catholic school, a little Catholic church, and before I knew it, I pretty much realized by 8th grade, I no use even dating anyone because, we're all related somewhere. But I remember being overjoyed because I thought I found a beautiful girl with a really nice butt that wasn't a relative. So it's like, hey, Mom, hey, she's not relative. Well, yeah, she was relative too. So if we're going to explore duality, again, we have oneness. Again, all these mystics talk about it, all these poets sing about it, all these people that are madly in love experience it. And then we have this thing called, it's like we're separated, man. It's like, yeah, well, it's my business if I want to put junk in my veins. Okay, sure. Who in their right mind has been... But by the way, I want to see the original thinker who thought of doing that. Because I have yet to meet them. I'm sure that they're out there because... here's this guy who's putting heroin in his freaking veins. Where do you learn it from? If it's only your business, then don't ever fucking show it to anybody. Because we're that connected. Now, if we're going to play with relativeness, okay, so in Tai Chi we've got those four main energies. Okay, we have integrity, which is oomph. We're there. We really are. And if you touch one part, you touch it all. We have rollback, which is we allow the waist and the hips to separate, so we get that baseball batter feeling. Not pancake batter feeling. We have press forward, where the whole body comes forward at once. It's not leading with a shoulder. It's all together at once. It's like when you finally realize that asking a question is an installation. That's press. Okay? If I ask a question to gather data so I can install something later, that's called bullshit. Just asking a question. Well, how long have you felt wonderful about this? Okay, you're already directing things. You cannot help but not direct things. So, and finally we have squeezing forward. Okay, and that's probably the hardest one to explain, but you'll see that physically if you have the right videos. So, when we look at all this, And we notice this. Now, there are things that we think aren't relative, and there are things that are. And it's all relative, because if we're going to have duality, we can't just have duality. We have to have the way that we relate. Relating is always there. Either we're one big thing, or we're two things or more that relate to each other. So if there's us and everything, there's me and everything else, there's how I relate to everything else. And that's a given. So what we have to do is keep that in mind. There's no such thing as duality. There's either oneness, or there's two things that are in relation. And relation is the third thing. Okay, it's all relative. So if we're going to play with this non-local thing, now here's what's neat. If we're going to go into remote viewing and remote installation and remote all this crap, it happens, if we're working through distance, we have to be working through time. In other words, there are things that you'll notice instantaneously. There's certain things that happen instantaneously. Okay, whenever there's the linkage and there's a shift, it happens simultaneously to me and her because of the way we're relating. And on the other hand, there's a great many things. Notice your breathing. There are a great many things that happen through time. And we have to factor that in. Because if we're working through distance, there's a certain aspect that has to happen through time. If we're talking local immediate dunk, there's going to be some local immediate dunk. There's a balance here. One of the things which I'm making my New Year's solutions. One of my New Year's solutions is to not put up with any bullshit when people start asking me dumb questions. One of the things that I've noticed is when people want results, they work with me. Plain and simple. And that's not pride. It'll sound like that to some people. But plain and simple, I focus on results. And the people that come to Pennsylvania, the people that work with me on phone coaching, focus on results. In other words, hey, what's in it for me? That's relative. Because there's me, and there's them, and it's how we relate. And on the other hand, the people that call me up and they want to know, well, exactly what is the squish pattern, and how do you... I mean, I'm real good at that, but I've noticed that I don't get lasting results. I'm probably the best guy I know at not getting results with it. Those are the guys that will end up taking up a lot of my time and won't even bother coming to Pennsylvania. Or they'll do an honor coaching session, and they'll say, you know what, I figure your time's worth about $25 an hour, so I send you $10. Send me what you can afford. That's what I say to do. Don't send me what you figure my time is worth. My time's worth far more than $25 an hour. You know, absolutely far more than $25 an hour. So... again, it's relative. They choose to relate on some imaginary standard. I choose to relate on a very specific standard. It's called results. When we set up the honor coaching, we set it up with the thing, hey, you pay what you can afford. You pay what they are worth to you. Okay, you don't pay what you think my time's worth. Because if you're going to pay what my time's worth, I used to charge $85 an hour when I was working with stuff like this. So you better fork out a lot more than $10, you know? And the few people that I do work with hour-long coaching sessions now, I still charge $85 to $150 an hour. And again, listen to that versus the, well, I figure kinda, sorta. What type of relationship do you want to have with the world? What kind of relationship do you want to have with you? If we're going to work with this remote stuff, what we get to do is we get to explore relating. We get to explore what's relative and what isn't. And again, if we go back to West Virginia, again, why is it you can't identify a dead body or solve a murder? Because there's no dental records and the DNA is all the same. We're so intimately connected. If I produce quality and demonstrate quality and integrity, then one of the ways that I can tell I'm doing things right is that how many people talk to me and say, you know what, I want to do more of what you're doing. And I say, what do you mean? I say, well, you know what, it sounds like you have a lot more fun than I do. I say, you know what, I probably do. But don't shoot for fun. Don't shoot for enjoyment. Shoot for something far powerful, far more powerful, which is, we're so darn related. What do I want to experience with you? Because I care about you. And I don't mean this about anyone in specific. Generally speaking, if there's another human on the planet nearby that's suffering, I would like to alleviate that. And I'm willing to do what it takes to match, model it, and move through it. If they're willing to follow, cool. If they want to stay where they were, or where they are, God bless them. Let them. And notice that this goes back. This is all relative, right to the first tract. Listen to it again. Have fun. Enjoy it. And realize, honest to goodness, I thank you for your time. It's all relative. And so are we. Again, I'm John Wingert, 724-963-1755. Feel free to call. Come to Pennsylvania for some private training. Do some honor coaching. Of course, buy some more products. And don't just do it because, well, you know, that guy's trying to sneakily talk me into it. He's using all of his stuff. Do it because you're making the world a better place. Do whatever it takes for you to make the world a better place. Work with what we're doing. Work with somebody else is doing. Whatever you do, make sure the person you're working with is having fun and is doing things for a higher purpose. I thank you for your time.